Hello and welcome back. So, for this module, we are reading I Am Malala. Many of you may have heard of Malala. She is the youngest person to win the Nobel Peace Prize. She has a very tragic but ultimately inspiring story. When she was a young teenager in Pakistan, she was shot in the head, and she had become a vocal spokesperson for women's education rights in Pakistan that were being denied at this time by the Taliban that was controlling the Swat Valley where she lived. Um, so, why are we reading this book? Well, we're talking about democracy and tyranny. And we started with Plato looking at the sort of intricate definitions of what is democracy and what is tyranny. And then we looked at the Orestean trilogy, where we tried to understand the foundations of justice versus honor, and how is justice necessary to create a stable society. And then we jumped all the way forward to a novel by Isabel Allende, where we get to see the way that a political system influences personal lives. But this really is the most intimate personal account of what it means to live underneath a tyrannical system, right? To experience tyranny firsthand. So we could spend as much time as we wanted trying to come up with the perfect definition for it, but ultimately the definition will always be of secondary use to actually knowing what the experience is like. What does it mean to live under a tyrannical system? And she really describes this very well. Going all the way back again to Plato, if you read the whole Republic, you will see that at the center of it all is the concept of education. And he says that this is 2,500 years ago. He was saying that both men and women in the society need to become educated. And we know that, historically speaking, education is the backbone of societies, that men and women both need to become educated in order for a society to be successful, prosperous, and stable. And that to deny people that right is a tyrannical act, right? It's not a good thing to do. So I want you to read this memoir, and you'll really kind of, I think, feel how terrifying it can be for political situations to go very bad, for the fear that comes with that. She really captures that really well. But also, her and her father is the other kind of main figure in the story, her whole family, but her father very much so. What does it mean to be brave in the face of tyranny? Like, how do you stand up to these dangerous, dark, oppressive forces? That's something that many people may not ever have to do in their lives, but some people, situations can change, and then, wow, suddenly you have to make this choice. Like, are you going to stand up to these people and risk being killed, or are you going to be quiet, right? And so that's a difficult, terrifying situation to find oneself in, but she does a good job of showing how and why she stood up to this movement. Her father was her main inspiration in teaching her these values, and then it has some kind of heartbreaking moments in it, but I think it's ultimately uplifting. And if you want to, you can read more about her story since this book was published. I'd be interested to read your thoughts on this again. I hope you enjoy reading it and find it informative. See you soon.